Hi guys, this is KNS 2 Cents. This is the album review of I Told Them by Burna Boy. Before I go any further, I want you guys to quickly hit the notification button, subscribe and hit the notification button so you will not miss any of our other videos. Olamide's album review will be coming right after this one. Okay, so what do I think about the album? Okay, before I even start reviewing the album, I want to state our score style. If you don't know the history behind the score style that I use, then go and watch our previous album reviews. The video is stated there so that I don't waste time repeating it here. But just to say thank you to them for giving us beautiful music or just giving us music, period, is 7. There's nothing below 7. So 7 points is just saying thank you for the work they put in to give us all these artists to put in the work to give us albums. 8 means good. 8 just means good. It was a good album. 9 means good, very good. And then 9 has certain levels. 9 can mean very good, and 9 can mean very good being the top, being the 0 of 9, and 9 of 9 means it remains small, maybe classic. And then if I give any album 10, it just means that it was a classic album. So what do I feel about I Told Them? I will be honest. I listened to the album for a while. Since the album came out, I've been jamming it, and I'm impressed. I am. I heard some other reviews, but I didn't let it cloud my judgment. And I listened to it well. So let's start. He gave us 17 songs, right? 17 songs, and he had a lot of good features on there. A lot of strategic features. I like his team. And I just want to keep it on album reviews because there are some thoughts I have about the people that work with the Burna Boy. They know exactly what they're doing, right? I like his team. So I want to actually speak on the features that he has on the album. He has Jiza, he has Riza on the album. If you don't know who those two are, they are iconic members. They're an iconic group, the Wu-Tang Clan. They're members of the iconic group. I'm kind of even surprised how he linked up with them. I hope one of these interviewers would ask him, when next they have him on their couch, how he linked up with them, because those are icons in their own right. He has Dave on the album. He has J. Cole. He has Shea Vibes, and then he has Byron Messiah, even though the song that Byron Messiah is actually Byron Messiah's song featuring Burna Boy. Okay, so he has some good features on the song, some good features, strategic features on the song. So what do I think about the songs? Lovely. I'm really impressed. I would say currently my best songs are They Play and City Boys. I'm surprised City Boy. I think maybe that's where they dropped the ball a little, but I think everything is going on fine. But I think City Boy should even be bigger than I think it should be the biggest song. Like they should have dropped it in the early days of the summer. Like City Boy is fire. I like They Play and City Boy. It's kind of clear that Burna Boy like Jiza featuring Shea Vibes. You can tell Burna Boy in a man. Na man them. If you don't understand that, I can't explain further. But you can tell he that's the kind of vibe Burna Boy is on. Them men vibes. And that's the vibe he gets from Jiza. I'm sure if somebody ask him, he'll confirm that Jiza is his best song. But they're very lovely songs from the beginning to the end. He had dropped some before the album, like the ones The previous song. Sorry that it's skipping my mind the titles, but very very lovely album. Um, what is the slight issue I kind of have with it is I think Burna Boy, he there's nothing wrong with his voice. He has a good voice, but I think some songs he could have featured a female. Like I'll give you an example. The what's that song title? If I'm Flying. There are some songs where a female voice would have kind of carried the song better. Like I'll give you an example. I don't know if my listeners know who Lagbaja is, but if you know who Lagbaja is, Lagbaja does not have a singing voice, right? But Lagbaja writes beautiful songs, and how he projects that message to his listeners is that he gives some parts of those songs to a singing female. And he did that so perfectly well that even at some point, people now started to find out, who are these females? Who's this female? And she came out and started making her own songs. But like if I'm Flying, imagine if you just had a female with a good voice. It doesn't have to be a big star. It could just be a regular person that just has a good singing voice, or somebody that nobody even knows that will just be singing those parts of the song, right? I think he could have done that with if I'm Flying, and maybe one or two other songs. But outside of that, lovely, lovely album. I don't see how you can't not like this album. I don't see how. Even the samples were strategic, were smart. For those who do not know, "Sitting on Top of the World" is a song by Brandy. He does the same way he did Last Last with Tony Braxton's song. He did the same thing with "Sitting on Top of the." Just of those who don't know, Brandy, Brandy featuring Mace. That's what he used to do. "Sitting on Top of the World." That's the same title of the Brandy song, and even the City Boys is sampling a Jeremy song, "Birthday Cake." If you don't know Jeremy "Birthday Cake," if you're a person that loves R&B, then you definitely want to go and listen to that. And that brings me to I always like doing who I think they should have featured on these songs. I love doing it. And I feel City Boy, if he had just featured another guy with that kind of swag, maybe to sing or rap. Like if he had featured a rapper and maybe it's another singer that kind of is in that same realm of a City Boy, he would have killed it. Like maybe even being that he sampled that song. If he had done if he had featured Jeremy, it would not have been a bad idea. Well, that's all. But maybe wow, if he had used Tori, unfortunately that one is doing some time. But imagine if he had done that with Tory Lane, City Boy. I had maybe somebody like Ludacris rap. Oh, I can't believe City Boy is not as, I don't know. Maybe I'm the one tripping. And I have to say, you have to credit Burna Boy for you can tell that Burna Boy really loves what he does. You can tell. And you would kind of understand what I'm implying when I do. Because I've also listened to Olamide's album, and I'm going to do that review right after this. I took my time, and Burna Boy really loves what he does. He's passionate about what he does. So I can only see him getting better. Now, the only reason I would not give this album a 10 over 10 is because of the fact of how much he loves what he does. He needs to. If you notice, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. He has in his previous albums he has featured women and females, but there are Chris Brown did it perfectly with what's that album? This is not the time to be forgetting names, but he did it with one of these albums where before the girl became popular, he put out certain songs where instead of a guy singing it, it's better when a female sings it. And I think in one or two or three songs that I've rather heard. I know the choir is now the cliche thing. So if I'm Lying could done well with a choir in the background, but If a female, it doesn't even have to be a big female that we know, just someone we don't even need to. The name will just be there, right? But the female will just be maybe that. If I'm lying, she was like singing right behind him, would have made that song fire. There's one or two other songs that I felt maybe, but all that being said, I don't see how he's not going to win the African. I mean, it's a strong fight between him. I'm telling you, him and Davido. They did their thing. They did their thing. I just wish just to figure out what is going on with them and get to giving us a joint album. We need to put it in the air. But yes, I will give it a 9, the bottom 9/10. Now, how do you guys feel? Do you think, I was fair? Or do you think I gave it too much credit? If you're feeling different, if you agree, share your thoughts. Let's hear it. But I definitely give that album in its totality, a 10/10, a 9/10. Sorry, a strong 9/10.